Today I'm going to be reviewing the KS1s by KBear. Hello everyone, my name is Bexkett, and thank you so much for tuning into my video today. Today I'm going to be doing a little overall review of these KS1s by KBear, and there's a lot to go on with these, so let's get started. Well, first I have to start off by saying that these were sent over by KEEPHIFI, like my last video, and again I want to give them a huge thanks for sending these over. I got to try them out for a few days and get to really experience them, and I think they're pretty cool IEMs. Let's start off with the packaging. The packaging was actually fairly simple. It was not really snazzy, just got to the point. Once you got the box, it is a little square box with a little image of the product on the outside and some specifications. Compared to the last IEM I just reviewed, these are much more aimed towards professionals. I can see they have like ohms and what type of driver tech it has inside of it, and it just seems a lot more interesting to me. Then once you get inside, that's where the interesting stuff runs away. It's just a piece of plastic holding the earbuds and then a cable behind it and all the paper and manuals. So that's about it. Then the earbuds themselves aren't really too flashy. They are just these little solid pieces of plastic with branding on the top, and they are fingerprint magnets though. I gotta say, they do pick up a ton of fingerprints, but if once you wipe them off and put them in your ears, I kind of prefer the look of these over the OS1 Pros just because they're more subtle and less sharp edges and just flat. Next, the ear tips come in this little plastic bag. It's quite a normal affair. I've seen these with the Blonde BL03s and Hi-Fi Man RE400s. It's just your average tips. There's nothing too special. They're just solid plastic, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just they're 20 bucks, it's whatever. Then this surprised me. The cable that came with it is surprisingly nice. The braid from the connector to the splitter is once again braided similarly, but it's a bit more substantial and has a bit more quality on it. Then from the Y splitter up to the ears, the cables are twisted quite well, and the connectors into the headphones themselves are also pretty sweet. They slide in perfectly and they just kind of like clip and they go over your ears, and it just works. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels relatively nice. There's only one complaint I have with the cable, and that would have to be how it goes around my ear. I've never had this problem before, but they're technically so wide that they just go over my ear and not in the crease. So it's just kind of hover above my ear, and it's not a big deal. It's just like whatever. It's totally tolerable, and they stay in my ears perfectly fine. So it's not really a big deal anyways. Ooh, you know what time it is? It's sound time. Once again, I burned these in for 15 hours to make sure I got more of the average audio that you're probably going to get out of these, out of their lifetime. And I gotta say, the audio is really nice, at least to me. I'll describe it a bit more in detail in a second. So I tried these with the cable that it came with and a balanced cable, and I gotta say that I kind of prefer the cable that it comes with. It's a much more balanced sound profile. The highs aren't too, crazy, and the lows aren't too crazy. There is a little bump in the low end, but it's not by much. So if it's not too bright, the low end isn't too much, and the mids are pretty there, I would basically call it a flat profile. It's very pleasing to listen to. For just chilling and laying back and listening to music, you can just hear everything. It's like not shoving it in your face. There's no sound stage. It's just kind of there, and it's very soothing, and it's very nice to your ears, and it's never fatiguing. It's been just an amazing experience in my opinion. For just general audio listeners, I think people will genuinely find this fun. I used this for video editing, and it was perfect for that. It picked up small details and made sure that everything was fine, and it just was kind of great. The base with the stock cable though is it's okay. It's very lacking in detail, just kind of there. So that's quite literally the only complaint I have with the cable that comes with. Then I go on to my personal cable, which funny enough, you think it would be better, but I really didn't like it. it made it way too bright and sibilant, and it just kind of hurt my ears. And I even did like an extra 5 hours of burn in it. It didn't really go away, so I must be the cable. Then the mids are almost more recessed in a way, because since the highs are so high now, you have to turn down the volume so it doesn't hurt your ears, and it kind of gets rid of that neutral playing ground where you have to go up and then turn it down, and it just brings down the mids. And I honestly really don't like that. The only big benefit that I see from adding your own external balanced cable is that the bass has a lot more low end grumble, and it has a lot more detail. Like, it is a lot more satisfying in that regard to listen to, but overall it's just not really a pleasing sound profile to me. Honestly, I'm really having a tough time right now deciding what type of music listeners should listen to this, because I just think it's a great basic profile that anyone could enjoy. That could be my bias, because I'm a much more simplistic person that likes a lot of detail, so that could just be a me thing once again. Mind you, these are $19.99 on Amazon right now, and they can be shipped to your door in 2 days. It is just ridiculous to me. It's like they skimped in all the right places, like the build, the packaging, the overall advertising of the product, just to make it just a good solid little pair of flat IEMs that I haven't really had an opportunity to be with before. So what's the main takeaway of this video? First off, if you want a good pair of IEMs, these are a great buy. I highly recommend them. It sounds best with the stock cable, which means that you don't have to do any silly upgrades or ridiculous upgrades to make it sound better. It out of the box, you plug them in and they're good. They're light and very comfortable inside of the ear, and they're just not trying too hard. That's the problem I have with other earbuds, is that they try too hard to make it look cool. It's just the earbud, and it just works. So if you really want that like soothing flat sound profile, these are really a really good bet. And Chinese hi-fi has been getting so ridiculously good recently, it's almost hard not to recommend every single IEM that I've had on my desk so far, except the HiFiMan RE400s. I'm not a huge fan of those, but yeah, you can watch a few videos ago about that. That's a whole nother drama I've already talked about. So yeah, that just about concludes my video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you once again KEEPHIFI for sending these over. These are an amazing little pair of earbuds, and I could not be more thankful that I got to try them out, and I'm definitely going to keep in my collection from now on. Anyways, this has been Bexkett signing off. Peace.